Tim in Roseville, and it.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
I'm gonna be in this big old city, still a mystery. Don't New York. Concrete jungle. The place where dreams are made of. Hi. I took a big leap and went soaring.
Good morning, and welcome to Connections Radio Show, where we talk about ideas that matter. I'm glad you've made the connection and are with us today. I'm Laurie Fitz, your host, and the goal of our show is to explore a wide range of topics that challenge us to see ourselves, our community, and the world around us in ways that gets us thinking, gets us talking, gets us maybe singing, gets us giggling, gets us connected, and perhaps inspired or challenged to do just a bit more because we made the connection. Our topic today is the power of community and the arts. And we have got some wonderful people joining us to talk about the Children's Performing Arts that is doing an amazing world premiere of Ashti's Journey to Jazz. For our first half of the show, we've got some great folks that wrote the show, direct the show, composed the show, to tell us a little bit more about their work with this amazing piece. So I'm going to go around. Carmen Rubin is joining us. She is the playwright. Thomasina Petrus is the composer and Ms. Robinson. And Sadiqa Shabazz is the director of the show. Carmen, tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Carmen Rubin, and I am a children's book author I think I'm going on my 8th book. And a first-time playwright. This would be my first, my first stage play.
Wonderful. And Thomasina, you're a fixture in the Twin Cities, a treasure. Tell us a little about you too, as well.
Well, my name's Thomasina Petrus, and I grew up in Minneapolis, a product of North High School. I always give a shout out to North because the performing arts program there changed my life. And that's why I'm in the arts. Theater, started out as a dancer, fell in love with music. Most folks know, introduced to Billie Holiday really young, so fell in love with jazz through her. And through that, everything else came. Got into theater very young, company member of many of the theaters in town, Penumbra Theater, Mixed Blood Theater, Illusion Theater, yada, yada, yada. But I've learned a lot about myself, about writing, about my own voice in music. And so this play has really been the first time I've been able to think musically in terms of theater and create something original with my dear friend and partner in music crime, Tom West. Mm-hmm. So Tom West and I have worked together for over 25 years. And so this is our first scored musical together.
Cool. Yeah. And Sadiqa, tell us about your directing and your background. You've got a great background in working with kids.
I do. Very rich. I feel very rich in it. So I'm Sadiqa Shabazz. I'm originally from Oakland, California. I moved to the Twin Cities about 13 years ago and have been working as an actor for many of those years. And it wasn't until about 4-ish years ago, maybe 3 to 4 years ago, I really got more into directing and playwriting. And so Ashti's Journey to Jazz is really my first professional play that I've directed. I've done a lot of assistant directing, and I directed at South High School for their fall production. And so this is my first production, like professional play to direct, which I'm very, very happy and proud of and honored to be a part of this and honored to be chosen and asked to direct the show. And then I have for the last 12 years worked as a teaching artist and doing after school programming and poetry and theater with youth. And currently I'm the executive director of Culture Club Collaborative, which is an arts organization working with youth experiencing homelessness. Wonderful. So we do all different types of artistic endeavors with them. So I'm very, very much into art and working with youth. So
and community.
And community, of course. So this was kind of perfect for me.
Carmen, there's a wonderful quote that I have of yours. Ashti's story is a testament to the power of community and the arts. I hope this play will inspire children and adults alike to recognize the importance of music education and to support the arts in their communities. I'd love to have you share about the genesis of this story that you've turned into a play. How music, you told me, really was a power that enlarged your world and your community and your family. Tell me about that.
Sure. Just coming from the Black family, as soon as you enter the world, you hear sound, right? You hear laughter, you hear joy, you hear pain, you come out hearing a whole lot, right? And just being this story kind of, I would say, just started at home where music was introduced to us, right? My grandmother, Miss Robinson, the real Miss Robinson, was my first music teacher. I had an uncle in San Francisco who exposed us to all kind of music. My dad was a saxophone player, and music was just very prevalent in my space, and I saw it as a way of, like I said, bringing joy, healing, bringing us together during certain times of the day and the night. I know, after dinner, my grandmother would get on the piano, and then we all knew that was the cue to start, something. We would cousins all harmonizing, so music was just always very prevalent. Sound was always prevalent in my space. Sounds of, like I said, music. The rocks up underneath your feet when you're walking to church. Then you get into church, and then there's, like I said, the music in the church, the sounds of food cooking, the sounds of dice being played outside. All of those sounds were I just became very connected to sound and always put them together in a way where it always felt like some sort of rhythm, right? And it changed me. It made me feel a certain kind of way, and I wanted to offer that to children. I wanted to provide some sort of sound to children. And so I began to put my words together in a way where it would do that. And so, like I said, just from starting with family and then getting to the story where I wanted to dedicate my first book to music. That's how Ashti Meets Birdman Al started. I also dedicated that book to Al Jarreau, who became a friend of mine. And he is the original Birdman Al. And when Al, when he would travel around the world, he would take that book. And so I always knew that there was something special about that book. And I knew that even when if I were to ever stop selling books, that the music would always continue. And so that was the beginning of the Ashti Meets Birdman Al book. And then I just felt like it wasn't finished. It started bubbling up all over inside of me. And then I decided to take it to theater. But the importance of music I have been fighting for over almost 20 years. The elementary schools were losing their music. And I said, I can go and march on the street, but that's not going to change it. I have to find another way. And so I said, if I get these stories and push for music to stay into the schools, then maybe I'll be on to something. And so that's how we got here.
And for the audience, I'm just going to share a little bit about what the story is about. The story is about a middle schooler, Ashti, who lives in the city and has learned that she is losing her beloved jazz teacher due to her school's lack of funding. The story takes the audience on a musical journey of learning about the importance of music through history lessons of jazz roots taught by Birdman Al and some crazy jazz birds with impeccable comedic timing. And with that, I want to go to you, Thomasina. You helped compose this, and you're the music teacher in the show. Tell me about your experience with this, and why you said yes. Tell me why you looked at this and went, oh, yes, this is something I need to do.
Well, Carla, who's a mutual friend of both of us, had introduced me to Carmen and had me come and do the reading of the play. And in the reading, she was going to pull samples of music that already exist, things that were public domain, samples of, old jazz clips. And in reading the play, I could hear music in my body where I thought music should be, like transferring from one scene to another. My mind just had its own little movie going, and I had suggested in the reading, I hear songs here. And in the reading, stuff would just come. And so in the moment, I just was throwing out some ideas, and Carmen was really open to it. And so she said, you know what, I'm picking up what you're laying down, sis. and so we agreed to start composing over the year some music together. And Tom West was in the reading, too. So he originally read for The Great Bird. And he's tall. He's like 6'9" or 6'8". And so he had come and read and was just kind of playing some tinkling stuff underneath. And so she could see that there was something bubbling there that could come. So she was willing to let me try. And so we started coming up with ideas. And she loved them and was really a part of sort of shaping where we should go with the music. And so we outside of the play, agreed that we would compose something and then present it within the workings of the play, and we incorporated it. I think it's what we came up with is really beautiful. How I'm saying it is really choppy.
No, it's not choppy at all.
We had the process of doing this felt so natural to me, even though it was new, that I felt, and I can confess it now, really insecure about doing this because I spoke it into existence what I wanted to try. And here's a person I didn't really know really well who was going to give me this allowance to do this thing. And we became friends over discussing the fact that we're doing stuff we've never done before. This was her first play she wrote. It's the first thing I was going to really score with my friend Tom. And she had a mantra, and we incorporated it into the play. She wrote it into the play, and I put it in the song. You can do hard things. And so, how Sadiqa, I'm kind of wrapping this all together, but how Sadiqa has such patience and love for children. When I came into the rehearsal process with these songs, and she had started working with the kids already, it looked chaotic to me. Because it's a bunch of kids with a whole bunch of energy.
And that's creative drama.
They're wonderful. But the kids were so amazing and wonderful. And she could see what I didn't see because I don't work with children. But it's so contagious now because what she did with them and how she was able to see that energy that they have to put it into performance is really, truly wonderful. And
it's a gift.
And you know what we're going to do? Is that we're going to feature Sadiqa in the next segment. I got to wrap this segment up.
Sure.
I'm excited about the music. So excited that I made sure that it is in all of our beginnings, our ins and outs of all of our segments feature.
Good. Well, remind me later because I want to say something really important. So remind me to tag it on later.
Go for it.
Okay. So the idea that this music, this play, and how Sadiqa worked with children, I'm giving her a shout out because she's amazing.
Yeah.
The importance of music and theater on children, it's exponentially important in how they move through the world, how they can show up and careen their energy and attention towards something, using music, the opportunity for them to stand on a stage and use their voice. We were talking about this during the break. Their voice solo in a space. Our kids need that now more than ever. Yeah. Teaching them to look up. A lot of our kids are looking down in phones, but their physical posture now is pointed down. Being in theater forces them to look up and be engaged in the community that's on stage, the mathematics of moving props and the math, the connection, the history of jazz. All of the elements of education are in theater.
We will, I promise, talk more about this in the next segment because I've got a few things to say about music as well. And we will be back. Stay with us. This is a wonderful conversation that is not just about art. It's about who we are and who we want to be and having art in community make a difference. So we'll be right back.
I'm awake. And there went my quiet morning. Hey! I'm awake. Excuse me. I'm in a hurry, please.
I love this.
I gotta see where I'm gonna be. Put a little story to a melody. Keep the subjects, facts, and figures in your memory.
Welcome back to Connections Connections radio show, where we talk about ideas that matter, and we enjoy good music, which we're doing right now. That song that you're listening to is from the Children Performing Arts program, where they are featuring a world premiere of Ashti's Journey to Jazz. And that's at the Hannaful Performing Arts Center in White Bear Lake. This is written by Carmen Rubin, who's joining us, composed by Tom West and Thomasina Petrus, who is joining us as well. And we also have the director of the show, Siddiqa Shabazz.
Yes.
And we're going to be focusing this segment a little bit more on Siddiqa's direction, but I want to make sure that everyone knows the wonderful folks that are on this segment. So Carmen, just give us a little bit about yourself, which we just loved hearing about in the first segment, but we'd love to have you reintroduced because there may be some audience members that just joined us.
Sure. My name is Carmen Rubin, and I am a children's book author and now playwright. I I live in New Jersey and split time between California as well. When Siddiqa reminded me that she's from Oakland, I just wanted to let her know that, I grew up right across the bridge in San Francisco.
Oh,
so,
nice.
so I'm here and I'm just happy to be here with all of these wonderful people who said yes to this play.
And I'm Thomasina Petrus, and I'm from Minnesota, and I wrote the music along with Tom West, and I'm also playing Miss Robinson in the show.
And I am Siddiqa Shabazz, originally from Oakland, California, and I'm the director of Ashti's Journey to Jazz.
And before I start asking you questions, Siddiqa, I just want to make sure that folks know that this is the first DEI initiative of bridging communities for supporting this play. And
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And the other thing that I want to make sure folks know is the story here. Why don't I let you tell the story? Tell me the story from your point of view of this play.
Well, essentially, the story is about how not just music, but art, I think, in general, how it really the impacts youth, impacts children in such a positive way. When people often think about music and like the art departments and programs at schools, and those are often the first things to get cut, which happens in this play, people don't think about the impact that it really has on youth. The social emotional learning. We were just talking off air how math is involved because you have to think about timing, learning how to read music. So proficiency in reading is involved as well. Writing is involved, communication, connectivity, and just confidence is really built through the arts. And that's what this play is. So it's not just a journey into jazz, it's also a journey just into art and how you can use art to do anything in life. It's going to help you in no matter what path you're going. Miss Robinson's job to me is not to create musicians out of all of her students. It's really to use the basics of art and of music and performance, instill those things that youth will use no matter what path or what journey they end up going to and in life, because it's all influential. And so we're using jazz in this show as the vehicle to save art, to save the social emotional learning of youth, and to also spawn their growth.
You said this is your first play. Go ahead, Carmen. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Do you see why she's so perfect for the job?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Carmen. Yes, you all are bringing magic, and I'm thrilled that this is going to be brought to the stage. I will be coming to see the show next week, so I'm excited about that. But I want to get back to what drew you to this play. I mean, I know that this is your first, but they offered, you needed to search to whether or not this is what you wanted to do. Tell me why. Oh, no, you knew right away.
I was like, oh, you asked. Yes. I mean, just thinking about this show. And in fact, I met Carmen, via Zoom. We have yet to meet in person, which will happen soon. I'm really excited about. But meeting Carmen via Zoom and talking about just my work with youth and doing theater and different types of artistic, mediums with youth. I just felt like this was right up my alley. This is what I do. This is what I love, and this is what this play inspires. So it was really a no-brainer for me.
If you could like know what an audience member, or you could hope for what an audience member is going to take away from this experience, what would that be? What would you most hope that they walk out going, that's what I take away from the show?
I would just say the importance of art, right? That how essential it is for our growth, to bring happiness. When you are feeling dark, when you are going through a dark time and depressed, or just things you feel aren't going right in your world, if you just create something, how much joy and light that would bring. Ashti, the school, they're going through this dark time with Miss Robinson having to leave because they can't afford to keep her on or keep the music department going, period. And how dark it was. I mean, there's a line in the show where Ashti's like, I'm going to have to drop out of school because, she's going to, she won't have her music teacher anymore. And how in that time they created this event and they created this moment, and how the buzz and the light that just brought back to these characters, and that is something that can be translated into life. So I'm hoping when people leave, it's not just a good time, which it is. It's not just funny and insightful and just really sweet and warm. It's all of those things, but hopefully when they find themselves in a dark time, they can create something. And it doesn't have to be a huge production. It could be just something for themselves and such beauty and light that they can bring back into the world.
That's so inspirational. Yes, I absolutely see, Carmen, why you wanted to have Sadiqa be able to direct your show. This is a show that everyone should go see.
Yes, 100%.
And I want to make sure you all know the dates and times and all that good stuff. The name of the play is Ashti's Journey to Jazz. It's July 11th, 12th. Well, okay, those pass. But next week, we have the 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's at the Hannaful Performing Arts Center. That's in White Bear Lake. And for more information, you can go to childrensperformingartsmin.org. Again, that's childrensperformingartsmn.org. I just want to make sure that Thomasina, because I know that we're closing out this half of the show. What would you like to have the audience members walk away with?
The sense that we are all a community. It's not divided by suburbs or cities, or we are all one big community. And I know our children, they may not understand the climate of things in the bigger world, but our kids are very intuitive. They pick up on our feelings as adults. And when we're all in the space together and we're singing that last song, your people are my people, and together we can do anything, we can fix anything, we can solve anything, that we truly can. And our children are our future, but they are also very much our present, and they need to be our focus. And don't underestimate children. Don't limit them by saying, well, I know you're only a kid. So I've seen firsthand with what Sadiqa has done with these children. And my boys are grown up. They're grown and gone. I'm an empty nester. But this idea of working with kids at this level and understanding the importance of music and theater in young people, it's life-changing. It's the reason why I'm a performer, is because my mother made sure it was instilled in me. And so this is an opportunity to see that at work. So please do come.
Come and join the family.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
May I just add to what Thomasina is saying? Sure. I just wanted to just remind everybody that children are our archivists. If we give it to them, whatever we give to them, they will hold on to it and they will carry it and they will continue it. And that is the one thing that I made a promise to Al after he left. I set it into the air that I will give it to the children, and I know that we can keep this going. And so through community, through art, through culture, through all of these things, love, because you got to have that, right? All of these things, we can change some things. Yeah. And I just want to leave with this as well. Thomasina always reminds me we can do hard things. And this has been a very, very big, wonderful undertaking. And we did it.
And we're going to end this segment listening to Make a Song. So stay with us, and we'll be talking more with some of the performers of this wonderful adventure.
Listen to the music. Snap your fingers to it. Get them duckies in a row. And when you know for sure, hocus pocus your focus. Now ready, set, go. Writer and arranger, top hat of the class. Edward Kennedy Ellington, the Duke of Jazz. Symphonies, big bands, orchestras, and that ain't all. He's out catting, speaking Latin to that satin doll. Remember that jive issue time?
Hey, it's Freddie Bell, host of New.
Today we're talking about art and community and how they enrich both. We've been talking about the Children's Performing Arts world premiere of Ashti's Journey to Jazz, and that's at the Hannafil Performing Arts Center. And it's going to be next weekend for you guys to be able to catch it. I'm going to be going on the 20th. It's the 18th, 19th, and 20th. This play is written by Carmen Rubin, who is joining us. It's composed and performed by Thomasina Petrus, who joined us in the first half of the show. Ashti's Journey to Jazz is a captivating new children's play. It's adapted from Carmen's beloved book that she wrote, Ashti's Meets Birdman Al. The Ashti's Journey to Jazz is an inaugural production of the Children's Performing Arts of Bridging Communities. This is a program and part of their DEI initiative to embrace diverse backgrounds, values, and viewpoints, and to build a strong, inclusive community. Following the tragic death of George Floyd and the challenges children have faced during COVID-19, compounded by decreased funding for the arts education, the creative team aims to foster community rebuilding through the shared experience of music and storytelling. They emphasize the importance of unity, resilience, and the transformative power of the arts. So this play is about a middle schooler, Ashti, who lives in the city and has learned that she's losing her beloved jazz teacher due to her school's lack of funding. The story takes on a musical journey of learning about the importance of music through the history lessons of jazz roots taught by Birdman Al and some crazy jazz birds with impeccable comic timing. So for this part of the show, we've got Carmen Rubin, the playwright, joining us, Carla Griffin, who plays Mahogany Freeborn, and we have Solomon Parham, and I'm pronouncing your last name correct?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
Thank
wonderful.
You so much.
As Birdman Al. So, Carmen, I know at the top of each segment, I've made you say hello and who you are, but you do such a beautiful job, and I want to make sure that you have a chance to talk about writing this play.
Sure. I knew that my book was not finished because my book kept indicating to me that it was not finished. I wrote the book in 2007. I had gone in schools all over this country promoting the book. And I was excited about it just being a book, but something within me kept saying that there was more to come. My aunt, who helped raise me in San Francisco, she told me I was having the blues one day, and she called me kind of randomly and said, Carmen, this book is going to be a classic. Now I said, no, Alice in Wonderland is a classic. We have our classics. I don't know about Ashti Meets Birdman Al. And she said, it's going to continue. And she kept saying that it's going to continue. And so I got this feeling in my stomach and said that I need to do something else with it. And it evolved itself into what we are now interviewing about, and that is Ashti's Journey to Jazz. And I knew that with this play, I wanted to accomplish a few things. I wanted young people and their families to learn. I wanted them to laugh, and I wanted them to dance. And so we incorporated, these crazy Blue Jays that will have us laughing. We incorporated The history, which I just love and want to teach to young people. And then we have a real good vibe going throughout with the music, where everybody gets an opportunity to stand to their feet and just feel good.
Wonderful. Thank you, Carmen. Carla Griffin, tell us a little about you and the part you play.
Yes. So my name is Carla Griffin. I am a New Jersey native. I moved to Minnesota about 5 years ago with my family, a few months before COVID hit. I've been singing. I feel like my dad was and still is a music minister in New Jersey, small churches, and I feel like he literally poured music into my blood. And so I got the theater bug as a high schooler, playing various parts, and it's never left me. I actually went to Morgan State University, got a degree in writing for television, and found that I love children. I love children in theater and music, and somehow I found myself in this space, and now I sit on the board at CPA.
That's wonderful. And Solomon, tell us a little about you and Birdman.
All right. My name is Solomon Jamal Parham. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I have a long history of music. I can get into it later. But I teach. I'm an educator. I perform. I produce. And, I'm just elated to be a part of this endeavor. It's humbling. And, I can get into it, more details later.
What I'd love to have you both share with me is during this production, in every play that I've been a part of, there's always like an aha moment that's like a big takeaway for what the play meant to you. What was that aha for you, Carla?
Absolutely. I failed to mention that I do play Ashti's mother. And I understand that role is not far from who I am. I have children. I am a mother. I love music. And I learned that, unfortunately in this world, we have made play so much work. Mm-hmm. Our children should be able to go out and play. And for whatever reason, there are various reasons, we've made that hard for our children. Even putting this play on stage was a little bit of a labor of love. And and maybe it should be, maybe it shouldn't be, but the aha moment that I got is that we, the keepers of our children, have to be the keepers of art and spaces for them to play, so that then they can become adults who are the keepers of their children's play, right? And so that became very important to me, that although it wasn't easy to get to where we are, as Carmen mentioned, it is my job as the keeper of my children and their futures to make sure that they have creative spaces to play.
And as Carmen said in the last segment, the archivists, what we give
Absolutely.
them, become the archivists.
Absolutely.
Archivists.
I have a responsibility. And this production, oh, man, it has allowed me to live in the assignment where I am right now and really see it to fruition. It's been a blessing.
And Solomon, what
Yes.
was your aha?
The entire play. This feels personal. It's so I'm gonna just be a little vulnerable. This feels like someone knows me and has known me. I'm a jazz musician. My first teacher was Herbie Williams. He actually played with Bird, and I had to prove my grad paper defense that I'm from the lineage of jazz, and I did, and it didn't go over too well, but I got my credential, and I've Carmen and I share the sentiment of godparents from the industry, and I teach jazz. Like next week, I start a jazz camp, and my job as a teacher is nothing like acting. I'm a coach, and you don't like the coach, but you want the trophy. So, but my job for my aha moment is the entire play, watching each person show up in their own unique, special way that feeds me. Is humbling. I'm not like slowed down at all. even down to the children and the moments that each participant gives.
They've been teaching us, right?
Yes, ministering to us.
And with that, our time goes way too fast. And we will have to go to a break, but I just want to make sure that the audience knows how to get to this show. Go to childrensperformingartsmin.org. This is Ashti's Journey to Jazz. It's next week, the 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's in White Bear Lake. You need to go see it. And we're going to need to take a break.
We make lemonade when life gives you lemon. 'Cause everything changes and everything ends. And now I have so many memories, so many friends. If anything worth having is worth working for. So great job, everybody. Oh, and it truly takes all of us, you know. Young, old, tall, short, left-handed, right-handed, straight hair, curly hair, no hair, all there. Your people and my people and your people, together with
And
all
welcome back to Connections Radio Show, where we sing about ideas that matter as well as talk about them. Love that. Your people are my people. A great way to celebrate Ashti's Journey to Jazz. A great song. And we've got the author of the play. We've got two of the performers joining us for this last segment. And we want you to come see this show. It's a fabulous show. Carmen Rubin is the playwright joining us in this segment. Carla Griffin, who plays Mahogany Freeborn, Ashti's mom, is in our studio. And we've got Solomon Parham, who is Birdman Al, who teaches jazz.
That's right.
Teaches jazz for real life.
Yes, real
and
life.
teaches jazz in the show.
This is real.
Great stuff. Great stuff. I'm going to let Carmen, why should someone come see this show?
Oh, why should someone come to see this show?
Yep.
I think people should come to this show for many reasons. I'm going to just, lay it down to one big reason. I think that when you come to this show, you are going to see and feel the heart of music. You're going to see and feel the heart of the love that comprised the entire production. And I think that when we come, I think we need to come open to see what we've all been thinking, what we've all been needing, right? I think we should come to this show, young people, their parents, their grandparents. I think we should come because it's an opportunity for us to sit together and be one and to enjoy something, because now is a time where we just need to feel joy. We need to see Black families expressing joy. We need to see young people making their profound statements as young people. It's just a good time.
It is a good time. I'm going to let Carla share. Why should people come see the show?
Yes, I am in the play, but I do want to serve as a board member in this moment for CPA. I joined the board about a year and a half ago when CPA was working on their diversity, equity, inclusion policy. And man, I'm glad I was in the room for that, because I asked them, if you really want to make some change, you have to do some intentional programming. And we started the Bridging Communities project. And I'm so grateful to CPA for the work that they did, for saying yes. That they understood that this would be hard, and that it has been hard. It has been difficult. It has been new. Adding adults to children's show is something that they've never done before. Raising money for this type of show, this debut show, all of that was new. And they said yes. And hopefully along the way, they've learned some things. I've learned some things. Come see the show because it's new, it's fresh, and it's needed.
And CPA stands for Children's Performing Arts, and this is a world premiere. Mm-hmm. Solomon, why should people come see this show?
It's a part of the fabric of this country. It's the narrative. It's the history. It's the truth. It's essential. It will grow you.
Yeah, for sure.
Grow you.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it is. It is our future, and we have to approach, especially with the times that we're in. If we don't have joy, as we were talking earlier,
Yeah.
if we don't push forward with joy,
Yeah.
we can be susceptible.
Can I just mention one thing? And I know this show is happening at the Hannaful Theater in White Bear Lake, and I know it might not be, a short hop for you, maybe a 30-minute drive, maybe even a 40-minute drive. But we are artists nonetheless. Our children in the White Bear community are artists nonetheless. People have come from all over to be in the production as a gift to you. And hopefully we can show up for our kids and for this project.
Indeed, yes.
I'm going to give the website again, Children's Performing Arts Min.org. You can also look up Ashti's Journey to Jazz. Great way to find out where it is, how to get your tickets, and all that good stuff. What I think we need is community to spread beyond our street or a few blocks.
Yes.
Minnesota's community.
Yes.
Minnesota, New Jersey, California,
Yes.
community.
Yes.
Our country is community.
Yes.
And music transcends it all and pulls us all together.
You said it. You
And
said
when we
that.
sing,
Absolutely.
and when we sing together, we are community.
Yes.
We are
We
community.
do feel the connection.
Yes.
And we do get the chance to have our heart shared.
Yes.
And our hearts, it's hard to share right now.
Yeah.
But when we can, and when you can come see the show and have your heart shared and
Yes.
feel in community,
For sure.
we can make the world a better place.
I think that what Solomon said was ideal and perfect. He said he was vulnerable during this part, right? And I think you let yourself down, let yourself go, and be vulnerable. Is a big win in all of that.
Absolutely. We've got 5 seconds. And we got a great song.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Solomon. And thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
And thank you, Carmen, for bringing this to us.
Thank you
It's
for
wonderful.
to
Thank you
AM
guys so
950.
much.
Absolutely.